Welcome to BIMS TV. I'm Andrew Walker, and this is BIMS Bites. And today, I'll be biting into some sensational cephalopods. So, what is a cephalopod? Well, it's a class of animals that includes the Nautilus, the Cuttlefish, the Squid, and the Octopus. And the word cephalopod comes from the Greek for head, foot. Just picture an octopus. Its head connects directly to its foot, or I guess its tentacles, or arms in this case. These animals can be found throughout our world's oceans and are some of the coolest marine invertebrates you'll ever find. Marine means ocean, and invertebrate means an animal doesn't have any bones in its body. Some of these awesome animals are speedsters, others are masters of disguise, and if you ask me, they're all pretty sensational. Let's consider some cephalopod characteristics. All members of the cephalopod class are members of the mollusk phylum. Familiar mollusks include clams, oysters, and mussels. Hard-shelled bivalves. Not exactly what we think of when we're thinking about squids and octopuses. And though they don't look a whole lot like each other today, they do have a shared evolutionary past because those ancient squids and octopuses had hard external calcium carbonate shells, just like snails and oysters today. Now, only nautiluses maintain a external calcium carbonate shells. But hey, enough of the past, let's talk about our current cephalopod family and what they have in common. The first thing are those arms and tentacles, which aren't quite the same thing. Arms will have suction cups that go all the way up the arm, while tentacles will only have those suction cups and hooks at the end. They're often a little bit longer and used for grabbing onto prey items and pulling them to the center, where most of our cephalopods have a chitinous beak they use to tear up food and swallow it. A few other things they have in common is a siphon. Now they pull water into their mouth, into their mantle, they push it out the siphon in order to make a form of jet propulsion in order to speed their way beneath the waves. Also, all members of the family are going to have blue blood. That's a copper-based blood, unlike the iron-based blood that we have. And then you need 3 hearts to circulate that blood within their bodies. These copper-based bloods tend to be a little bit less efficient than our iron-based blood, but they work much better in low oxygen environments. Now we know that what these animals have in common, let's see what each member of the family brings to the table. Here we have a Nautilus, the only member of the cephalopod class that still maintains a full exterior shell. That shell is present when they first hatch and grows with them as they age. They use a siphon jet to move about the ocean, and they can have up to 90 arms. Though they are often called living fossils, the ancient ammonite that they resemble is a closer relative to the modern octopus than the Nautilus. One big difference is those ancient ammonites were actually able to retract into their shells, while the Nautilus cannot. Cuttlefish can communicate with each other by changing the color and pattern of their skin, an incredible skill for an animal often thought to be colorblind. The truth is more complicated than that, since the cuttlefish can see polarized light, which allows them to adjust to the world around them. These colorful and color-changing animals have 8 arms and 2 tentacles. Cuttlefish have an internal shell called a cuttlebone that helps them float and gives their body shape. Cuttlefish can communicate with each other by changing the color and pattern of their skin. That's pretty neat. And now we have the squid. These speedsters squirt around using their siphons as water jets to move about the sea. They have 8 arms and 2 tentacles that they can reach out and grab their prey. Squid come in a vast array of sizes, from some so small they can fit in the palm of your hand to the giant squid, which has been measured at over 30 feet long. There are even squid that glide from wave to wave in order to gain speed and escape predators. And here's the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the octopus. These 8-armed animals are masters of disguise. A giant Pacific octopus can change the color and texture of their skin in less than half a second. Wow. And that's not it. Not only are they masters of disguise, but octopuses are also escape artists, able to squeeze into any space large enough to accommodate their beaks. And just when you thought it couldn't get any wilder, they have a distributed neural network. They can basically say that they have 9 brains, 1 central brain and 1 for each of their 8 arms. This allows them to feel and taste with their suction cups, as well as have each of those arms function independently. There are over 800 different species spread out over the 4 families we've talked about: the Nautilus, the Cuttlefish, the Squid, and the Octopus. These incredible animals are so important to our ocean planet. They're an important link in the food chain, both as hunters and prey, and helping conserve them helps to preserve the balance of our ocean, which is important for a healthy planet. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Andrew Walker from BIMS TV. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and stay curious.